It gives off an impression of being odd. I'm not creating a C video for episode 7 of Odd New Universes. San Diego Comic-Con inferred we got an early screening of the star outing The Lower Decks Half-Breed episode. This being those old scientists. Anyway, with the streaming plan pushing ahead, we got another episode this Thursday, which we didn't expect. Start at Odd New Universes, Season 2, Episode 8, named Under the Cover of War, desires to incorporate Klingons to be sure. Consistently, Excursion Central has sparkling clean sea material for unusual new universes. Under the Cover of War is made by David Perez. The penultimate episode of Season 1, All Individuals, What Marvel's Personality Was, truly created by Perez. Perhaps that hints of what will be accessible for this episode. Jeff Bird expects the occupation of boss for this episode, so recall that. The power once over of the episode is according to the accompanying. Captain Pike and his group welcome a Klingon flaw to on board the U.S. undertaking, but his presence sets off the exposure of a couple of staggering insider realities. Welcome to Travel Central. I'm your host, Administrator Jack, and here's our audit video for Impossible to Miss New World Season 2 Episode 8, Under the Cover of War. It seems, by all accounts, to be a fascinating episode and Klingons are back, again. Okay, could we bounce straight into the sea pictures? To the surprise of no one, the sea pictures give us a short gander at the looming episode. We have a staggering look at guest star Robert Knowledge as Klingon priest Dakra, accepting you articulate that precisely who gets on the Endeavor. We've similarly had chances of an exceptional New World school at a dinner. This is by all accounts a luxurious dinner likely for the Klingon agent. Captain Pike is wearing his green Starfleet uniform, which is presently worn once the season in Episode 5 Affectations. Cool. Two platforms that truth be told do stand apart are Orderly Safe Haven and Dr. Menvengter on an away mission. The pair are joined by some Starfleet authorities who emit an impression of being around them. Both are wearing Starfleet key stuff. Really, this is by all accounts a mishap site or a mission ended up being terrible. Perhaps one more transport crash ended up being awful for the group. As of now, piece of a saying. By and by, we truly have one more mystery trailer for Unconventional New World. This one sets the episode's plot and has all the earmarks of being genuine for the sea pictures we referred to. It gives off an impression of being that the Klingon representative is covering the whole of the Endeavor as a turncoat. Regardless, this seems to dig a couple of horrendous memories for our takers, Menvenger and North Place of Petition. Clearly, we learned in Episode 1 and Season 2 when Menvenger was situated on Drogal during the Klingon Association War. He was accessible around the hour of the encounter of Chakana, which saw various association misfortunes. We could have a short glance at the battle in the mysterious trailer. It's either flashbacks or present-day clashes of Menvenger and North Safe Haven on a comparable planet. It's hard to tell right currently considering how fast the trailer moves. Considering a quick point of view on the personnel record of Dr. Joseph Menvenger, it has all the earmarks of being that there were in excess of 200,000 difficulties just for Starfleet. That also included in excess of 36,000 non-military staff misfortunes just under objective. Ortega gives off an impression of being convinced that the agent is envisioning. It gives off an impression of being this could be coming from a PTSD response. On the opposite side, Pike needs to trust the Klingon and see where it goes for the mission. There is a fast shot of a van make sliding the planet. We've seen the transport in the Pariah New World Season 2 trailer. It looks a piece new class totally, perhaps. Somehow, we'll track down in the looming episode, and maybe this shows the van make headway. Maybe it's a runabout or essentially a more essential vehicle. That could be cool. This pre-arranged room cut for Stranger New World Season 2 Episode 8 focused in on Eriko Ortegas. Her experiences with the Klingon War showed in Star Outing Disclosure have come up multiple times now. Most actually in the past episode, for example, Ennist and Brad Borden, the 8th style, Tejas is a contention legend. It's in like manner a fantasy to see Erika in the commandant's seat of the undertaking. I should see another individual on Uncommon Universes take command over the Endeavor for a smidgen. Someone other than the foremost three since we've seen enough of them in the request seat. Then again, maybe a more prominent measure of Ona. We need a more prominent measure of her in the seat. Maybe a whole episode where she is in the seat. That sounds cool, truly. Erika is evidently affected by her experiences in the Klingon War. In other words, who couldn't be? With the Klingon representative getting on the Endeavor, it seems to have pressures raised. For example, Erica raises the various wartime barbarities did by the negotiator. I imagine this will be an episode where we examine what people need to do under the flag of war, subsequently associating with the title of this episode. Sadly, Erica gets embarrassed when the emissary appears on the framework. A piece wrong. By and by, it is vital for review that Erica didn't miss the Klingon Association War. A couple of U.S. Endeavor group were missing for the conflict, considering the way that Starfleet kept them out intentionally. Subsequently, Captain Pike, Mr. Spock, and Number 1 didn't see the abhorrences of the contention. This part hasn't explored in Star Excursion Disclosure Season 2, and, moreover, a book. I can't remember what's called now. I accept it's known as the Endeavor War. Do we have it behind us? We used to have it on the rack behind us here. It's taken off to someplace. It's a book called The Endeavor War. Continue to comprehend it to sort out a more noteworthy measure of what Pike and his group were doing during the Klingon Association War. It's cool. Presently, we read it quite a while ago. It's real clowning around. As of now, I continue to ponder whether the conversation will rehash in more Oddworld's Season 2 Episode 8. I trust it does in light of the fact that it could uncover some understanding more on why Pike wasn't there in his gathering, yet also what people who were in the contention gone up against.